Zen.
Okay. All right.
Hey, my girl.
So I know Little Red is currently, she was in the courtroom, but due to the dust, we could not see her. So hopefully she is headputting so she can return or riding on her back. I think that might be her right there. Is that her sitting there?
No, that is not.
I don't see Red or Mickey still.
Okay. Well, Stan, I need you to go ahead and read off your statements as your part two. If the witnesses aren't able to show up, unfortunately, we have to continue to move forward. And make sure you're on the highest form of volume, please.
All right, well, we'll do some statements.
Okay. So evidence statements that you're bringing into here as we wait for your witnesses. Go ahead.
So the first statement will be by Sir Alistair Knott. It was submitted to DOJ. It said he was standing before us to recount the harrowing ordeal I endured at the hands of Nessa Kimber. In the darkness of her lair, she subjected me to unspeakable torture, burning my flesh and carving deep into my skin. Her intent was far more sinister than mere physical pain.
I like her.
She performed a dark ritual that tore a part of my very soul of my being. The agony was indescribable, leaving scars not only to my body, but my spirit as well.
Oh my God.
I implore the court to recognize the severity of her actions and profound impact they have had on his life. As Mr. Knott has stated, he has fled for his life due to the actions of Miss Nessa Kimber. The next one.
All right. So entered in the court record. All right. Under AK-1 is exhibit AK-1 statement.
We have a anonymous letter for the next one that looks like it was pointed towards Mr. Thomas Decker.
Hold that one, please. Just the ones that were in the witness statements, please.
Okay. We do the bounty statement.
Okay.
So the following is based on the accounts of the bounty hunters about how they learned of her location. They interviewed a lot of people via locals. The tips provided locals to be most useful were able to get a general location from them, then search diligently. Her wanted posters provided the general idea of what she looked like as well. We found her multiple times as a woman. I didn't want to bring in another woman accused of witchcraft blindly without having more information. So they talked to her twice before deciding to bring her in. We made the decision after watching bring bodies back to a shack with nailed them to the floor. They created a pentagram somehow at 4 a.m.
Jeez.
The next one is based off of how they ID'd her. Originally, they approached her because she was a suspicious female in the areas where locals had identified that Miss Nessa Kimber was in. During the conversation, Nessa, she talked about her circumstances and informed about the witchcraft accusations and discussed vaguely and some family issues and identified Derek Hayes as her adoptive father. It goes on to read about her capture. It was difficult. She was good at hiding and running. It took teamwork between Grimm and I, as she was pretty exhausted from the chase. It looks like they brought her to Valentine, went ahead to announce that we had her, so it wouldn't cause panic. One group of lawmen were ready. They were brought in to her, or they brought her in and turned her over.
All right. And then the testimony. So I know Red is currently trying to ride back into town right now to do it. Were we able to get a hold of Mr. Montgomery? Was he able to return?
He was 3 times, but he is yet to be seen.
Okay.
We may have to interview Ghost.
We may have to, if we cannot see or hear him, unfortunately his testimony will have to be in a written form, or it will have to be not submitted. It's a fair thing to do here. Let's see here. We'll give him a second to give it a try.
I'm right here.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody can hear.
Miss Red, are you currently in the courthouse? Can you hear us?
I can hear him and I can see him.
Oh, okay.
You can hear us, see them?
Yes, Your Honor. He's sitting right over there, smoking a cigar.
Oh, what?
Is that Mr.
I
Montgomery?
understand.
No,
That is not
I
Montgomery.
think Mr. Gummy's right here. I can hear him.
I'm
I can
standing
hear-
directly in front of Tex.
That's Mr.
Montgomery
Montgomery with the
says
cigar.
he's next to David.
That is,
Well, I can hear him, but I can't
I
see
can
him.
hear
Though.
him as well. He says he's right here. In front of
Yeah, see if you
I
can
am-
tackle him and see if
I'm
he'll,
not sitting in a chair.
Or
I'm
room or
like in
something.
front of the podium if you want to just try and tackle
You
me.
can't really rope near. Tackle.
Okay.
Let me see if a lasso would work.
You can't even, I don't think
It
you
doesn't
can
work
use
in
the
my
lasso
courthouse.
here.
Yeah, we'll let you.
Oh,
This is,
I didn't know that.
Well, and Red says she's back in the courthouse as well. Okay. Well, then what we'll do is we will allow a state to call for statements. If Mr. Montgomery and Ms. Red can provide just a quick statement to it, it'd be very helpful. Provide it to Dex or Mr. Allen via their POs, and we will get that statement read out here. Do you have any other witnesses that are going to be present and visible, state?
I don't believe so.
Okay. All right. So at this time, we'll hold on state here. Defense, you have any witnesses you wish to call up?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. We would like to call Nessa Kimber to the stand.
Kimber, if you'll please stand directly to your right. And Ms. Dan here will issue the oath.
You want to, that's what I want to hear on you, Tex. Yeah.
Miss Kimber, could you please raise your hand? Do you swear you're telling the whole truth, so help you, Hayes?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down.
And Miss Nessa, you can make sure your voice is on shouting or writing.
It is.
All right, can the opposite side of the room hear her?
Yep, we're good.
Yeah, I can hear her.
All right, Nessa, before this whole debacle came in to be, did you ever have any trouble with the law of any kind?
Never in my life.
You were an upstanding member of the community. Can you explain or tell us some of the things that you've done as part of this community to make you such a valued member?
I've been part of the community for well over a year at this point. I have ran the road stables. I owned it. I have made many contacts, both as business and as friends. I have had a lot of clients for whom I trained horses and provided those services to, and became a well-connected person in that manner. And I like to think well-respected too with that.
Thank you for that. You were taken to the church by Hayes and Rhodes. Can you tell us about your experience with that and your being taken over there?
It wasn't Valentine. I was standing
apologies.
on the porch of the gunsmith, just overlooking the town, kind of just watching some of the people, and you know what Valentine's like. There can be chaos at times. Then I heard Hayes approach, and he decided it was a great time to pick a fight and asked me if I could walk with him. So I thought we were just going to talk like adults. And the moment I set foot on the Valentine mud, he smashed my face into it and he hog-tied me against my will. I protested and I said to let me go. I did not want him to do this. As he continued to say that he would take me to the church steps because he could not understand why I did not want to be there.
If you hold your thought, I want the record to show that this happened in front of a lawman who did nothing. You may continue, ma'am.
Where is Joan?
He then proceeded to continue to talk with me in a very accusing tone and brought me to the steps of the church, where out of nowhere a lightning strike hit us and I was flown God knows how far onto the grounds, and my rope's burnt off.
Okay, is that the full, or is there still more?
Well, after that, we had an argument, and he kind of continued accusing me. And things went from there, from bad to worse, and I felt the need to defend myself.
Okay, and have you had any more incidents with Mr. Hayes since then?
He sent me threatening letters, which was very unpleasant. He made comments on how he wishes to see me hang.
Objection. We have yet to see this evidence of these letters, so at this point it's hearsay.
They're on my person, and I've been denied access to my letters this entire time ever since I was brought in.
You've not been able to provide them to your defense attorneys?
I've asked if someone could pick up my letters, and no one allowed me act in any way, shape, or form.
All right.
So then how do we know these letters exist?
Hold on. Mr. West, have you requested these from anybody?
I was not aware that these letters existed, and then if she didn't have access, she couldn't have given them to us anyways.
The problem is that if she says she's told somebody to request and she's requested them from you, or she didn't request from you and you didn't request them from state, I have to decide with the state on that one.
Your Honor, if I may add something.
Yeah?
I may add that we did multiple times ask if she could have her mail back to be able to communicate with us, but she was not allowed to.
You were the only time that has been addressed to the court was during a recess.
Well, that was to you, but we've asked the law multiple times and during her detention.
Okay. Can you provide who you requested from?
I believe we've asked Mr. Kine, and there was another deputy, but I don't remember the name.
Okay. State, have you been made aware by the law that there is additional evidence currently in the inventory that wasn't provided to this court or to yourself?
We have not. We have the evidence that was provided to us. We do not know about these letters that are
since
being discussed.
Since the laws them, since the laws had them, it hasn't been returned here, and it looks like they did put a request in with the state. I'm going to allow partial, but you're very limited, thin ice on the questioning. So I will allow the question.
We will ignore the letter parts, but the rest of that testimony I do believe is still admissible.
I'm the judge of the one, so thin ice on it. You may go proceed with your questioning.
So can you continue explaining your interactions with Hayes since that event in Valentine?
Well, with Hayes in Valentine, it just came to the shootout. And that was it. After that, it was the letters until he came to visit me in the jail cell.
When did he come visit you in the jail cell?
Yesterday.
And what happened then?
He made a few comments on how, again, he wanted to see me hang, which is very disturbing for a father to tell his daughter. And that he had another daughter, so I wasn't needed. And then he proceeded to throw some sort of black powder on top of me, and then flicked his cigar on top of me, and that set me on fire.
And were there any witnesses to this interaction with him?
Fellow lawman.
Do you happen to know of which lawman?
I think it was Callum. Maybe Andreas. I'm not entirely sure. I was too shocked by what happened, to be honest.
Okay, so you feel like there's been a history of, in your opinion, harassment and ongoing accusations and actions against you from this one individual, right?
I feel like I've been targeted, and that he really wants to see me hang.
I have no further questions. Do you have any, sir?
No, I do not.
We have no further questions, Your Honor.
All right. State, you may go ahead and proceed.
Give me just a second here. I'm trying to pull this up. Okay. I wanted to ask you, Miss Nessa, about the voodoo dolls, the black box, the charm potions, dragon blood, the grimoire notebook, and the black pearl witch ball and the black pearl teardrops. What were they used for?
I mean, you eat them and you drink them. You should try them. They're quite delicious.
Mr. Allen?
Mr. Allen?
Sorry.
I'm stumped on that one.
The grimoire. What is? I want to know what it is used for. Why do you have it?
Free
Nessa. Have it.
I mean, what is grimoire used for?
I don't know. That shop sells bits and pieces.
Free my
girl, Nessa.
Who said that?
Why do you need the voodoo doll?
I mean, it's a doll that I've had on me for a long time. It's comforting. And it helps me sew my clothes. So tiny.
Yeah, but wouldn't you say that voodoo doll would be one of the most common items used in a ritual?
Oh man, we got
I
sound.
don't know, is it?
From my understanding, yes.
If you say so.
Objection, speculation. Yeah, you can't speculate like that, Mr. Allen. So.
It's great. Now it's working.
Just they might even see me now.
Next question, Mr. Allen.
I think it's still on.
The dragon's blood. What do you use that for?
I mean, it's a drink.
What type of drink?
A nice one? A refreshing one? Like, you have them in the evidence locker, drink it. Like, it won't kill you.
Facts.
Let's Kim. Got a few questions for you, man.
Right.
Okay. Out of all of this that has happened, can you
Guys-
tell me what
guys looking at me. It's funny.
your relationship was with these people that are all in question with all these letters and items?
I
Like,
mean, I
Free
am
Nessa.
not entirely
Objection.
sure.
Many of these items do not have persons attached to them, so we don't know who
Free Nessa,
is being
motherfucker.
referenced.
Okay, we need to find this person and deal with them, please.
Miss Kimber, can you please
Can you
proceed?
continue, please?
I mean, I know Tom Decker from the Gunsmith. I mean, I don't know who else is on this supposed list.
Well, I could run down a few names if you would like me to. What can you tell me? So I have a list in front of me of acquaintances you had that are no longer around with us. What do you know of a Sammy Morningstar,
Never heard of
Kelly
Never heard
Andrews,
of
Art Jones, Thomas Atkins, Abby Reacher, Tyler Jenkins, Echo Everhart, David Ward, Skylar Stone.
Skylar.
I mean, Sammy Morningstar is my biological father.
What about the rest of them? They appear to have
Harley
managed to
was
disappear.
my adopted sister. Who else did you say?
So you got Thomas Atkins, Abby Reacher. You got Tyler
Thomas
Jenkins.
is, or I don't know, Harley's husband. Abby was also my adopted sister. Who else?
So you have a Skylar Stone, David Ward, Echo Everhart.
Yeah. Didn't Echo work in law or something?
I would say she did. So you didn't know anyone except for known family members such as Sammy Morningstar, Harley Jones, Thomas Atkins. The rest of them you had no acquaintances with.
I mean, I don't know the entire list. Like, I don't have a sheet with the entire list in front of me, so.
So you have a
the
book
people
though.
that you mentioned is like the ones you mentioned just now. Some are like family members.
Okay, so then the next question is, in the book that was taken off of your possession, you say that their souls have been permanently taken in different ways of torture and killing them. And you noted this, in fact, in this said book on how it was done as well.
Makes for a nice story.
So you just, based on this book, it seems like you did it just. So you say it's all for a story, but these are things that actually happened. So how do you explain that? Your story seems to match everything that's happened to these said individuals.
That's such a coincidence.
I don't know about that being a coincidence. That seems a little obvious. So would it be true then, based on this book, that this is actions you yourself have done to these individuals?
I did not say that.
But it's in your book that was taken off of your possession, and all this has happened to these people.
I mean, just because I write something down, maybe someone else took my book and done something to them.
But the book is in your name.
Yes, but if the book is not always on my person, someone else could have found it and gotten inspiration.
Okay, now, if they were to find it, was this book published or was this a private possession?
No, it was in my wagon.
So therefore the book was not published, so other people had no idea this book even existed.
But people knew I have wagons around me occasionally, whether it's for the horse trainer business or not. So they could have looked in there and gotten inspiration.
So, was this book finished, would you say, or was this still in work?
I mean, I'd say everything is work in progress.
So you mean, so if you were continuously updating this said book, and other people did not have it, how would these individuals somehow been tortured based off of a book that wasn't published and you were continuously updating?
Because maybe they had a look in my wagon and saw what I wrote in there.
But that doesn't explain the events after, if somebody would have possibly seen this book. Because you're always working on it, so if you have this book
if they would place
being
it back,
updated,
people have memories.
I can make a statement to the court.
Go for it.
I would like this book to reflect that the match of death and details and torture has to be reported.
It has been reported. All right, so noted.
And there will be no more further questions.
All right. Defense, would you like to have a follow-up question?
With your permission, I'd like to follow up with 2 questions for the witness, please.
Yeah, you can have 2 questions for this follow-up.
So they were focusing on a doll you had in your possession that you say is a device to help you sew. Is that merely a pincushion that just
happens to be the shape of a person and in no way shape of a voodoo doll as their accuser?
It's a comforting doll that like also is like the sort of pincushion, yes, for my toes. It helps keep the things together so that I don't lose them.
Okay, so it was assumed to be a voodoo doll, just so the record shows. My second question is going to be the book that he's referencing. Is there anything about that that can say you've done something, or could this just quite possibly just be a character development for a book you're writing based off of people you've met?
Inspiration. Sounds like a good book to me.
Okay. All right, I see that Miss Red is currently in the courtroom, so we're going to take just a quick 2 to 3 minute recess here so that the state can speak with Red to make sure everything's set. Mr. Montgomery's here as well, and we will follow up with the final 2 witnesses from state. We will have closing arguments. 3 minutes starting now. Willingness to have Papa time to get you here. Just wait for the defense to return here. Okay, back in session here. Mr. Allen, Mr. Callahan here. You have 2 witnesses that were arriving late. Both of them were on duty here, so if you want to go ahead and call them up.
There is a knife on the floor underneath my foot.
Oh, okay, cool. Walk away from it. Mr. David will take care of the knife. Thank you. Mr. Callahan, Mr. D.
Yes, we would like to call up Mr. Detective Mickey to stand, please.
All right. Detective Mickey on my left-hand side here. If you sit down, and Sheriff will come ask you to take the oath.
Mickey, can you please raise your hand? You swear you're telling us the whole truth, so help you, Hayes?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down now.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, State, you may begin your questioning.
Good afternoon, Mr. Montgomery.
Did you ask me
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I thought you asked me how I was doing, but I didn't, sorry.
Just a quick few questions for you, sir. You were the lead detective on this case, correct?
Yes, both me and Under Sheriff Andreas Kahn were working in tandem for this case, yes.
Okay, great. I want you to give me a rundown on this grimoire and what this interprets to you based on the evidence about, how she's tortured people, murdered people. Let's hear what you found for it.
Are you asking me about the grimoire that was found on Nessa's possession following her arrest?
Correct. That's correct.
Okay, so with the time that I was able to spend studying the grimoire that was found, every description of each individual crime or each individual torture matches the same that was reported by the doctors that found each victim as well, including intimate details that would not have been public information at the time.
So you would say that she was continuously updating this book, and there's no way that anybody else could have got their hands on it.
Yes, it appears as though it is, if that it was going to be continued. There was, if I remember correctly, part 3 section on a complete page.
So there could have possibly been more victims that did not make the logs.
Yes, well, from what I saw on the page, there was a list of more potential victims. I believe it was Under Sheriff Kine, his wife, Sheriff David and his wife, as well as Miss Ember Robin, the Sheriff of West Elizabeth.
What can you tell me about these other items? Do you know anything about this dragon's blood and these other items that were found in her possession and what they could possibly do to a person?
So I myself have not indulged in these items, but I have been told by several people that they are, they increase your vitality and your endurance, in a manner of speaking.
How long would you say you were heading up this investigation? Can you explain what all you saw and witnessed while you were investigating it?
We saw some very strange things, to say the least. As said before, both me and Andrews kind of have been working on this case for about a month now, and it was made very clear to us when we were given this case that it has been going on for quite a bit longer than that as well. From when Mr. Decker was up on the stand, he detailed where he was found by the doctor. We had gone and investigated that place. So we've seen some very gruesome and, quite frankly, disturbing places during this investigation.
So, in your own opinion, would you be 100% positive in saying Nessa Kimber is, in fact, the person committing these tortures and acts of murder based on the evidence that you have collected?
Yes, sir.
We have no further questions, Your Honor.
Okay. Defense cross-examine.
Oh, Your Honor. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
No, you're welcome to cross-examine now.
We were talking a little bit. Sorry. Give us 1 second, please.
Okay.
That's what I was told by other people.
My apologies, Mr. West. We cannot hear if you asked a question.
My apologies. I didn't have the right voice box on. I had asked the witness about the dragon's blood that was at, like, these are simply performance or self-enhancing products, and he was responding.
So, as I said, I have not personally tried them, so I can't tell you that is what they are, but I can. That is what I was told they are. So, I mean, that's not exactly.
Okay, so are these by chance contraband, or are these just suspicious items that they're deciding to use as evidence of something?
No, they're not contraband, but yes, they are evidence, if that is what you're asking.
How are they evidence? Like, what? How can they be used in a criminal manner in her situation?
They are items that point towards the occult activity that this case involves. They are also, sold by Miss Kimber here.
As far as I'm concerned, it's just personal use. It doesn't point to any kind of occult activity. But you've also said from the get-go you're not an expert on these products either, correct?
I said that I have not indulged in them, yes.
You're just using based off what you've been educated about.
Yes.
Okay, so as far as we know, they're not contraband, so there's no reason they should have been held as evidence against her, in my opinion.
Is that am I responding to this?
Sorry, that was a statement. If you have a response, you're more than welcome to say things, but it wasn't a question towards you.
To my knowledge, they were unfamiliar items that needed to be looked at to determine their usefulness, and as well as their, the severity that they could be in the hands of Miss Kimber.
Which you said she sold, so it's understandable if they'd be her in her possession. But I have no further questions.
You have no further questions. All right. You have one counter question you're able to ask?
I believe we're good.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, sir. Say you have one more witness, Miss Red. Is that correct?
Yes, we would like to call Miss Red to the stand, please.
All right, Miss Red to the stand here.
Red, could you please raise your hand? Do you swear you're telling the whole truth, so help you Hayes? You may put your hand down.
Thank you. State, you may proceed.
Afternoon, Miss Red. Miss Red, can you tell me what part you played in this investigation?
I can't hear her all the way over here.
Oh, make sure on ready.
Yes, make sure you're on the highest level of volume.
Sorry about that. I was gonna say, I was the first person to give a statement in this investigation.
Was there anything that you can tell us what you've seen or witnessed?
So back in April on her birthday, I was wandering through a county down in Lemoyne when I came across Calaga Hall, and this was dark time, and I saw a whole bunch of candles, and there were people in a circle with Miss Kimber in the center. It sounded like she was chanting or something. I didn't want to get too close because I didn't fully know what was going on, so I kind of hid in the bushes and scurried my way out. And I've also found the hidden grimoire a few times along my passive with these items that we've been talking about. I've read through the descriptions of some of these items, and the one that kind of caught my eye was the voodoo doll. It says to take a piece of hair of a person, attach it to the voodoo doll, and apparently, from my understanding, you're able to like use it as either a pincushion or twist its arm and it affects the person.
Did you ever happen to try any of these items that she sold in her grimoire, such as the dragon's blood or anything?
The ones that I had tried was the black pearl crystal ball thing, and there was one other which I forget the name of, but it really increased your vitality. So if you just hurry up and used it, you could have probably got out of any situation if the other person didn't have anything vitality enhancing.
Objection, Your Honor.
Okay. On.
The statement that it could have, she doesn't know for a fact that what this product could or could not do.
Well, she stated she did use it.
All she said was it increased her vitality, and then she said that if someone used it, they could possibly get out of a situation. That's not evidence, that's speculation.
If she used it and witnessed it happening to herself, she would understand that anybody using it would have the same effect.
I'm going to allow it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Red, is there anything else?
You may go ahead and continue with your questioning. I'm going to allow that answer to stand.
Ms. Red, is there anything else that you can tell us that has happened to yourself or any close relatives that possibly happened by the hands of Nessa?
Not to myself or any close relatives, but yeah.
Right. State has no further questions.
All right. Defense, you can cross-examine here.
Sounds good. Hello, Miss Red. How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
So, I'm doing good. And you said you found those items multiple times?
That's correct.
Okay, and then my question is to you, why are they not in evidence?
So, before the
If you
time,
found them multiple times, you should have taken them into evidence, you know. And how
well,
can you
this
know it was Nessa?
Defense, you need to let her answer the question you initially asked before you continue your questioning.
Yes, Your Honor.
I was gonna say this was before I even joined the department. You know, curiosity killed the cat, and I saw on the pin board it was posted by all these rhymes and riddles, and even Nessa told me herself that she owned the shop.
Okay. So, like you said, she sold them. So, how do we know that they were Nessa's and not someone else?
Well, if she owns the shop, I think she would be the one stocking it, wouldn't she?
How would we know that? People can buy it from there.
They can buy, but she's the one who has to keep it in stock.
Yeah, she has to keep it stock, but people can buy it still, you know. So how can we prove that those were Nessa's and not some other person who bought it from there?
Objection. Badgering.
No, let's not badger the witness. Let her answer. If she answers the question, that's an answer. So.
Okay, Your Honor. Then no more questions.
Okay. Give me just a moment here.
I have one question, Your Honor.
Okay, you have one more question? Go ahead.
Miss Red, you said that you had found this book multiple times and you're able to see the information in this book, correct?
Oh, I was talking about the shop, not the book. Yep. Nope, I was talking about the shop.
Okay. Was that your follow-up? Stay. You have one follow-up question you asked?
That's right. I do have one question for you.
Yep.
So you found these items before you became law, in which you then became law and arrested Nessa. And you saw the same items on the crime scene and on Nessa. How are you able to link these together?
So, with her owning the shop and her being in possession of them, I feel like that's a pretty clear link.
So it's a good connection then, based
Yeah.
on evidence and what you've seen.
That's true. Because I know I've asked people about the Grimoire shop, and no one has really known about it, except for a few people. So, for her to have those items and to have that shop, there's the correlation there.
Thank you, man.
Okay. Miss Red, thank you very much. You may step down.
Thank you.
Defense, do you have any other witnesses that you wanted to call before resting your case? State has called the 5-2 they had that were supplemental. Do you have any that you wanted to call?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so do you rest?
Yes, defend rests.
Okay. All right, so we're going to do closing statements here, and then before we do any kind of ruling on this here, State, you will start off by coming up to the podium here and give your closing statements, please.
Court, I would like to state that based on all the overwhelming evidence, it is without a doubt that Nessa Kimber is responsible for these murders and tortures of our local civilians of this said state. We have all the grimoires, all the letters stating, that she created and was pinning on people's bodies the same outcome as a poem talking about sacrifices and thanking their individuals for their sacrifice. She's here to take people's souls and I want to hear her admit it. She needs to admit it right now because it's clear without a doubt that she is the one responsible for these murders. You have 9 people that are dead by your hands. You have 28 body parts from other individuals, with 17 tortures, plus the 2 zombie hordes. If you would like me to, I will take a moment to list some of the individuals that are no longer with us. We have Sammy Morningstar, Kelly Andrews, Thomas Atkin, Abby Reacher, Tyler Jenkins, Echo Everhart, David Ward, and Skylar Stone. Miss Kimber, you cannot sit here without a doubt and hide behind this truth that you are the one responsible for these murders. You need to say it right here and right now and come clean so this court can have their day and these local civilians can go back about their normal everyday lives without fearing for their life. Let's hear you say it right now. I want to hear her say it. She needs to
you need
clean.
You need to. Your defendant. You need to. You go ahead, and if you're done with your statement,
we're done.
All right, defense. You have your closing statements.
Your Honor, Nessa would like to make her own closing argument if that would be allowed.
The court will allow this. Miss Nessa, if you will come up to the podium here. If you come up to the podium here.
The front center.
No, the front and
right
center.
there.
Honestly, this is fucking ridiculous. I'm here in this county full of plebs, having to listen to all of this, having to endure this entire court case. Really?
What the hell? What?
What the?
Where's the shaman? Shaman!
I'm kind of done.
What the?
I'm not enduring this. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna get rid of a few people here.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh Lord. Shaman, get to work on it. We need backup. She's killing people.
Nessa,
take her
What
down.
are you doing?
Nessa.
Shaman. The shaman's got her. Oh my god. We need medical assistance at the courthouse. Somebody call for the doctors.
Stop!
This is proof.
Nessa, this isn't you. What are you doing?
I've had enough.
This
I
court-
ruled down under, and I
This
have to
court
endure
hereby
this.
finds
Nessa,
you
this is
guilty.
not you.
You are
Stop
guilty
it.
and you will hung by your neck until you are dead. Take her to the gallows.
No.
Take her now. Yeah, fines are gonna be crazy at this. So just take her to the gallows.
Rip, step over here. Rip, step over here.
Sheriff, bailiff, take her to the gallows. Yeah.
Up you go. Get out of here. Let's go.
All right.
Okay, Libby.
I have this.
To the gallows, everybody.
I believe we have some doctors on the way.
All right.
Come on.
Ooh, this better be good.
Nessa, why? Why, Nessa?
Let her have a cigarette.
Yes.
Rick, this is nothing
You are
towards
hereby
you.
ordered to hang by your neck until you are dead.
I didn't want to believe what they said.
Words?
Final words.
No. Oh, you want final words, huh?
Final words.
All right, Shaman, I need you to suppress her.
for it, AG.
A curse is lands from east to west. Anyone who could think the contest
This better be crazy.
We're gonna make it on the show. Darkness will fall, and the death will rise. The moon will be red, and the sun won't rise. The fog won't close. Both
Do
beasts
it.
and men all will be affected, both enemy and friend.
And there we go.
Oh, I don't think she's dead. Oh, hell no.
I don't think it worked.
You cannot best me. Do you think these gallows will work?
Oh my god. I don't know if it'll work.
Damn, she freaky.
Cut her down. We can't take her life.
I'm scared.
She never sees the light of day again.
Nice try,
Place her in cuffs. Well, try every day until you're done. You've murdered people in my courtroom. You've murdered people in this county.
Yes, I need to gather my
Ooh.
souls.
Yes, your soul, huh?
Oh, I kind of like her.
They will live forever now, down below in the deep fiery depths.
New sentence. Life in prison without parole. And to be hung every day until you are dead. If you don't die, then you'll never see the light of day. I'm also going to find you $168,000 of your God-given stuff you off people and give to the families that deserve it. You tortured. Sheriff. Send her to Sisika for life. Bounty hunters, Lubman, if you see her ever on the streets again, take her down. Can't believe she survived that.
You don't know who you're up against. Yeah, Satan says hi.
Tell stand high back.
That was good. That was good.
Can't believe she survived
Where
the
did
hanging.
Decker go?
Somebody pick those gallows. We need to replace these.
Decker vanished.
She got Decker. Oh no.
No, I don't think he did.
She'll be back.
Decker?
I can fucking guarantee she'll be back.
Hey, that might be a thing.